I was a little bit getting nervous, but at the end of the day, I think it went well. We pitched, we managed to get our message out there, and the feedback was promising. Our company is called Bag Innovation. We are a youth consultancy agency where we train university students to become consultants. We're trying to basically solve the problem of unemployment in Rwanda by making the young people from university and fresh graduates more ready for the job markets and as well as more employable, where we equip them with the skills and all these trainings we offer them for free to be able to leverage from the talents from the young people have to offer better services to companies. I think these kind of platforms are not accessible to all the youth, so which is something that we need to really look into, because I know that a lot of people have different solutions that are out there on the markets, but they didn't get to know about this kind of events, and so I think it's definitely something that we need to look into.
You never know what people are going to ask you, what's their interest, I think I was nervous, but you know, if people don't know you, they don't always understand, you know, how you're feeling. It was an interesting experience, a learning curve. I was really inspired by what I've seen today and the other entrepreneurs. It might lead to a real opportunity, which was completely unexpected as well. Usually in these events, it's more of a start of a conversation. There is, you know, some interest, but you know, to have someone that bluntly says, you know, I will take X percentage in your business, and if you're interested, let's further these talks right now. It's quite an experience. My company is UX Information Technologies. We specialize on inclusive technologies for social development. The product that I pitched here today is the leading online job board in Mozambique. It's now having a presence in Angola and Greece, and we're looking to expand to an additional 4 countries, including Rwanda.
Today is the last day of the Youth Connect Summit 2018 right here in Kigali. As you can see right behind me, thousands of youth from all over the continent filled with drive, enthusiasm, and eager to find solutions that are facing the continent today. Well, we all know that the youth is the driving force of Africa's economy. Will they be willing to take up this challenge? It's up to them.
It's just a fact waiting to be proven. If not the youth, then who? I think we are really disrupting the way Africa operates. We are actually changing the narrative, not just talking about it. Each person within their own capacity is doing that, and I think we have a collective voice that we've never seen before in this continent. And it's it's an exciting time to be part of it. The government should be a regulator and at first allow policies to enable startups and young entrepreneurs. But I think this proactive role of organizing these events and really reaching out to industry leaders outside of the country is really, really important.
One of the main key goals of the summit is to create 10 million jobs for the youth. We approached young people who came from different countries to attend the summit for them to share with us the challenges that they face.
I think one of the biggest challenges we have so far in South Sudan as youth is that the challenge of being underrepresented. In most of the government positions, you find youth are always being neglected. You're talking about like the Minister of Youth, and then you find the minister even has served himself as someone above the age that qualifies to be a youth, and everybody's like, yeah, I am a youth. So you see, this is a challenge, because like for us, we're over like 72% of the population in South Sudan, they're youth. So you see that we have a lot of energy, and if there are more synergies that are created to support the youth in terms of entrepreneurship, because one of the challenges you have is always the unemployment thing. There are no much job opportunities, so you have to hustle. So meaning if the government could come up with few programs to support the youth, like in terms of businesses, like you start your idea and they're able to take it from there and give you some small funding to start. But I think also one of the challenges we've had is right now is about the security. Due to the conflict that is happening, some of the areas have become a little bit inaccessible, and then now to starting up a business becomes so hard, because in business, actually business and politics, they match together.
I can say the political will. If the politicians, they don't support us youths, because you can see, for example, in Kenya, there's some leaders, they're supporting youths, but in those positions, you can see that a woman of age 60 is the Minister of Youth. That is some of the things that dragging behind us leaders. If it is a youth position, you're supposed to be given us youth because we understand each other. Yes, and other youth can also listen to us than the older people.
Knowledge of what is going on. I think we have thought of ourselves as just Africans and just the youth, and there's this narrative that goes around, I'm a fresh graduate. That is your greatest strength, being a fresh graduate, because you have so many opportunities. What we think of, I'm a fresh graduate, I do not have experience, I do not have capital. While that might be true, and in most cases is true, being a fresh graduate, you have so many other opportunities. You can volunteer, you can travel Africa and see all these other things. And you can intern and shadow some other leaders. And so I think the greatest thing is a mindset change, which we actually discussed during the summit. You see where someone actually said where the challenges, the opportunities. A pessimist is someone who sees a challenge in every opportunity, but we need to be optimists and see opportunities in every challenge. Us being African is our greatest strength. Sometimes people say, those things only happen abroad. It's happening in Rwanda, and it's working in Rwanda when the government is intentional about its youth. I feel as though many African countries can learn from that. I would urge the government specifically, and also the private sector, to invest in the youth, because we are the future.